Hi, I'm Bunny or Gun Bunny, and welcome to my channel. Now, if you've seen some of my videos before, you might have noticed my recent posting of all of my stages from Woodland Brutality. I did 2 days, both in American Standard. I learned a lot from Woodland. It being my second competition, well, technically my second Brutality, and also doing both a pistol and a rifle. Not that only did I take and make my first ever shot at 400 yards at Brutality, but I had a lot of really fun experiences and learned a lot of new things, as well as some old things being reinforced. One of the things that was drilled into me as I was starting to learn shooting was the fundamentals of marksmanship. I went to Appleseed clinics and learned quite a bit. But something I noticed is I seem to struggle a lot when it comes to pistol shooting. I tend to do really well when it comes to PCC, but anything like a pistol or a really long rifle, it becomes a lot harder for me. And I tried to figure out what the common issue was here. I know all of the fundamentals, how to get a sight picture, how to line up my sights. I've been doing dry fire. I know, a lot about marksmanship. I studied a lot of it, I practiced a lot of it, and I know how to get my sight picture, I know how to line up sights, I know how to use irons better than I know how to use a red dot. I know the positions I should be in. My body's a little bit weird proportionally, so there are some things I have to make adjustments for. Like I actually have mags, and people notice this actually, in my belt backwards. And it's because my elbows, my wrists turn backwards when I do things, and so it's actually easier for me to load if they're backwards. That's one thing. Another thing, I guess I didn't learn that, but other people learned that about me during Brutality in the trench stage, which I had so much fun during, which actually brings me to my point. The trench stage made me realize my issue. My issue wasn't an issue of not knowing my marksmanship, not, taking my respiratory pause, not getting my sight picture, not jerking the trigger, though that is something that I have to remember. It's strength. What I learned from the trench stage is when I was able to basically rest my rifle down at any point, or my pistol down at any point, was that I am able to shoot a lot better when I'm not holding something up purely in my arms. This is why PCC works so well for me. One of my favorite things to say recently, as I have tried some semi-auto versions of some submachine guns like the MP5 or some VZ stuff, is that those are the perfect size for me, not just because I'm a sub. But I found that, strength is really important. After I was able to work out my arms and my upper body a lot more, my pistol shooting improved tenfold. And I realized that strength is going to be something that's really important for me to work on. It's not an impossible thing, it's just that it's never something I've paid much attention to in the past. One of the great things is that dry fire is a great way to work on that, especially when I've decided to start using heavier guns, which is another video I will be doing on about my new dry fire routine due to this discovery. That being said, that's not the only thing I learned. One of the things that I learned is, even though I know my fundamentals of marksmanship, there is, and being in the moment, something I sometimes tend to forget, which is not jerk the trigger. Or in my head, I keep saying jerk the chicken. I don't know why. I don't know if that's like a dance move or a word for jerking off, or if I'm just making it up as a saying, but I feel like it is. But yeah, that is something that I know in my head to fundamentally not do, but then when I'm there, I'm just pull on it. So being more gentle with that. So it's something that's really, really important, especially to work on in my dry fire. That is one of the biggest things I can do with dry fire, is making sure my trigger control and my grip is perfect. Another fun thing I learned is about mono padding on my mag. That's awesome. I did not know I could do that until Brutality, and I just kind of did it, and I was like, oh, why have I not been doing this the entire time? I also found fun, creative ways to use my mag belt. Like if I had to stand there and load, I would put the little box of cartridges in between the mag and my hip, and just rest it there and then load, which was really fun. The last and most important thing I learned: fuck practical outfits. A lot of people commented on my choice of outfits for these 2 runs, where I both wore, I think they were dubbed by somebody in the In-Range Discord server as hot pants, and then the second day I wore my flapper dress. I never really thought that much about wearing practical outfits. My mentor wears cosplays. It didn't inhibit me at all. I don't know if it's just because I'm some type of masochist that doesn't care about getting covered in bruises and scratches from the gravel that I'm throwing myself down into, or if it's because I have a better range of motion when wearing a skirt that barely covers my ass. Either way, I have no reason to stop anytime soon. I really enjoyed it. I had great range of motion. I had fun dressing up like a flapper, and next time I dress up in a flapper dress will be at Woodland Brutality, where I will be carrying a Thompson, a semi-automatic Thompson, of course, but a Thompson nonetheless. I'm really excited. I hope you are looking forward to seeing me in more impractical outfits, including a pirate outfit with 20 flintlocks and a cutlass. I'm probably going to do a medieval kirtle from my video on my medieval handgun that I bought, and many, many, many more crazy, impractical, and just overall ridiculous cosplays. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, comment, whatever you want. Bye!